until your storm is bad enough. And then all that other stuff you let go of. It doesn't matter anymore. And so your own self-will, your own dreams, your own visions, your own attitudes, all the things you thought was necessary in life, they become secondary. Yeah. And the only thing that it becomes number one in your life, I've got to get close to God. I begin to remember a time when they went to church day after day after day after day, 10-day revivals, 2-week revivals, and they came every night, worked during the day and came out every night. And I mean, staying in room only. And walk in the pews and a move of God and the sick being healed and sinners running to the altar. Yeah, I do remember. And so here's what happened. When you get in a dry enough place, a dark enough place, enough of a wilderness, you quit thinking about all the things going on today, and it makes you hungry for another day. And you know this, that He's the same to 1,000 generations. So if He's ever been that, He's still that. And if He's ever done that, He can do that again. Hallelujah. And if it ever has been, it can be again. Hallelujah. 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 Now, here's the rest of the thing. I can't be satisfied. I just have all this, I'm just a little too curious. So here's the thing. I had to find out. I went on Google. You know Google. He knows everything, or he thinks he does. But he can't see. So he believes anything you tell him. So I went on Google, and I said, how do I find my way out when I'm lost in the wilderness? Well, he thinks I'm a hiker. That's a joke. I get winded climbing stairs. 3 of them, not 15. I ain't no hiker. It ain't gonna happen. But Google don't know that. Hey, he thinks I climbed Mount Everest, because I asked him one time, what do I need to do to prepare to climb Mount Everest? He thinks I'm a mountain climber too. He's going to be so disappointed. So I went online and I said, Google, how do I find my way out of the wilderness when I get lost? You know, sometimes in that wilderness, you look around and you just feel like you're just lost in the middle of it. And you know there's a way out, but you're not sure which way that is. Yeah. When my dad went to heaven years ago, and I've talked about it many times, in 99, I found myself in this place where I'd never been before. I was sad. I'd never been sad. Not since I'd been saved. I got saved in 75, 24 years I hadn't been saved. Because I'd been a heroin addict. And now I wasn't. And I was shooting my breakfast, cooked it in a tablespoon, and hunting for a vein in my feet because I had none left in my arms or in my wrist. And now I'm eating my breakfast in a cereal bowl. A little grape nuts with some strawberry yogurt on it. And a little 2% milk. Hey, don't get no better than that. Hallelujah. And so I'm eating breakfast, maybe not like everybody else, but I eat breakfast kind of like everybody else. And so I'm a happy camper. But when my dad went to heaven, I got sad. And it caught me off guard because I really didn't believe in Christians being sad. There was no reason for them to be sad. They're going to heaven. They should be happy. We're on our way to heaven, and my journey gets sweeter every day. You know, we say that all the time. But here I was, born again, full of the Holy Ghost, preaching the gospel, and I was sad. And I felt like I was lost in my sadness. I couldn't find my way out. And so I tried to just, I'll confess it. I'm not sad. I'm happy. But that's a bunch of baloney. And then I said, well, I'll just sing songs until I sing my way out. And that didn't work. And then I'll just preach my own sermons to me. That didn't work. My own sermons didn't get me out. I was lost in this sadness. I don't know how I got in there, and I couldn't and find my way out. I'd never been here before. And I threw myself on the mercy of God and asked Him not to leave me in this place, that He would show me the way out. And I'm going to tell you, that one experience, it was about a course of about 11 months. It was no short ordeal. But that season that I walked into, as much as I didn't like it, I would never want to go into that again. But I have to admit, it's what birthed the ladies' retreat. Because when I came out of that a year later, I was so mad at the devil. Because he made me cry for a whole year. I cried every day for a year. I still preached at night, but I cried all day until time to preach. And I couldn't get my spirit up. And once I felt the anointing of the Lord touch me, I preached longer than I did any other time in my life because I never wanted to lay that microphone down. It was the only peace I had during the course of the day. And so when I came out of that, it was like you shot me out of a cannon. And I said, devil, I'm going to make you pay. You're going to regret the day you ever made me cry. Amen? Amen. Now, because of that, I purposed in my heart I would never leave people sad around me. If it was at all possible, I was going to help pull them out and let them know that there's a God after depression. All right. And that God will carry you out. You may walk into it, but you'll also walk out on the other side. And that's why the ladies' retreat started in 2000, because I wanted to tell that story. I told him exactly how awful I was for a year. And I mean, I was bad. I was in a terrible shape. But then he turned it all the way around. Now, you can believe me or not believe me, but I think he led me into that wilderness. Not because he wanted me to be sad, but because in my prayer life, I had said to him, Jesus, I have people coming to me, want me to pray for them because they're depressed. I don't understand that concept. How does a Christian be depressed? I don't understand. I mean, I pray for them, but I don't even, that shouldn't even belong in the same sentence. A Christian should not be depressed. And so I don't understand. And here you are. Now I'm in it. And I realize this is how it happens. Something knocks the wind out of your sails. And the next thing you know, it's not, you flattened your back. Amen. Amen. And you don't climb your way out of that. He carries you through to life. And when he does, you're better on the other side than you were when you went in. Amen. 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 And so I asked Google, if you get in the wilderness and get lost in the wilderness, how do you find your way out? And this is what he said. It's a 4-step process. S-T-O-P. Stop. Number one, he said when you realize that you're out hiking or you're out in the middle of the wilderness or the woods somewhere, and you realize you've lost, you're off your trail, you're lost, your body has this fight or flight. So it wants to take off in a dead run trying to find your way out. He said it's the worst thing you could do. So you have to not let that happen. You stop and breathe. Just breathe. Stop and breathe. What he's saying is calm your spirit down. Don't let your flesh take over. You stop and just breathe. You know what I find? Anytime life deals me a hard blow, if I'll just stop and breathe, it won't. How do you go? It won't be but just a moment. If he doesn't come to where I am and begins to lead me out. He knows where I am at any given moment. And he never leaves me alone in my difficulty. Amen. The second thing is, the T is that you think. You think about what direction were you going? Where were you going? And if I'm in trouble, I stop take a deep breath, and remember I have one destination.
Yes. Right. Yes.
I'm going to heaven.
Yes.
I don't care what tomorrow holds. I'm going to heaven. I don't care what I have to encounter next week. I have one destination. I'm going to heaven. Hallelujah. And the truth is, the devil don't like it, but there ain't a thing he can do about it. I will have a ticket bought and paid for by the blood of Jesus Christ. And this is one flight you ain't ever going to get bumped off of. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The third thing, the O is you observe landmarks. You stop. Breathe. Think about where you're headed. And then he said in the woods, you listen to see if you can hear a brook, if you can hear running water. Or look around for where you are and look for your landmark.
Yes. Hallelujah. Good.
You know what I've done? I just did it. If I find myself in a hard place, I look at my landmark.
Hallelujah.
One of them is I was a heroin addict and I ain't no more.
Yeah.
Another one is I was sad, but I ain't sad no more. And so in 43 years, I've had many landmarks in my life. That's what happened when they came across the Jordan River. Pile up these stones, pile them up in a heap.
Yeah.
And for every generation behind you, they'll say, what means these stones?
Yeah.
That landmark. And they will say, this is where we came out of the wilderness. This is where we crossed the Jordan River on dry land. This is right before the walls of Jericho fell flat. And they will constantly go back and remember the landmark. And so in your life, if you find yourself in this unusually rich wilderness that you feel like you're lost in,
Yes.
you just have to
Oh, that's good.
look around for your
Thank you, Lord.
landmarks.
Yes.
Has he ever healed you? Then he's going to heal you again.
Yes.
Has he ever delivered you? Well, he's going to deliver you again. Has he ever made a way for you? Well, he's going to make a way for you. Whatever he has done, he's going to do it again. Hallelujah. And then P is make a plan. You got to have a plan. You never take off in a direction without a plan. You know where, you remember where you were headed. You look for any landmarks. You stop, calm your spirit down and breathe. And then, I don't have it written down, but he said, you look back to see if you can see where you came from.
Mighty God.
Now let me tell you a story. Ronnie was in the hospital. My little brother went to heaven on the 20th of December. And 5 days later, Ronnie had an asthma attack that no amount of inhalers, nebulizers, we could not pull him back from it. And it got to be later and later in the night. We're about 20 minutes from the ER, and I said, we can't wait any longer. We've never had to go to the ER. I said, we're going to have to take you to the ER. Nothing's working here. Come to find out the medicine they had him putting in the nebulizer, they'd given him the wrong medicine. It was about a fourth of what it was supposed to be, and so it wasn't working. But we didn't know that. We found out later. But we took him to the emergency room, and when we got there, his cardiac enzymes showed that they were elevated out the roof, is what they said. So the doctor said, we've done an EKG, he's not having a heart attack, but he has had one in the last week. I said, wait a minute, we just came here for breathing treatment. Well, your husband's had a heart attack. And so we're racking our brain trying to remember when. We don't remember it. We totally missed it. And he said, and so we can't pinpoint a time or a day. We know that he's had a heart attack. But the cardiac enzymes say that he had. So the doctor said, you're going to have to go to the cardiologist. I said, well, I have trouble getting an appointment. It takes a long time to get it. He said, you ain't going to need an appointment. Because the cardiologist is going to come to the hospital. I said, well, do I have to take my husband to the hospital? He said, no. You can't take your husband nowhere. We're going to put him in an ambulance. Reed's in Lebanon, Kentucky. We're going to drive him an hour and a half to Louisville and put him in Norton's Heart Hospital. Because your husband has had a recent heart attack, and he could be on the verge of another one. Well, I'm just going to tell you, it rocked my world. I don't mind telling you. I wasn't in all that great a shape anyway. And now, and here's what I noticed. Following that ambulance on the way to Louisville, my sister driving, she wouldn't let me drive. My sister driving, it's, by now we've been in the emergency room all night long. It's 8 o'clock the next morning. I realized nothing is important in my life. I don't care what kind of house we live in.
That's right.
I don't care what kind of car we drive.
Right.
I don't care what if I don't want a new dress. I don't want nothing. I just want my husband to be better.
Amen.
And so you get in a place that's rich. We get our priorities in order. And before things like that happen, we have a tendency to get cluttered. But in a wilderness, I become single. And so we get to the hospital. We're there for 3 days, and they did about 3 or 4 EKGs trying to find a heart attack. Couldn't find one. And then they checked his cardiac enzymes 2 more times because the heart doctor came in and told us, I have no explanation for this. His cardiac enzymes was out the roof. I don't know what that means, but it was out the roof high, meaning definite heart attack within the last week. And once they're high like that, they don't go down, they stay the same, or they go higher. His has gone back to normal.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
I said,
Yes.
really? Well, what she don't know is, at about 2 o'clock in the morning, while I'm looking at my husband with all oxygen on and they're doing EKG, I get on Facebook and say, oh, we're in trouble.
Yes.
And if you're awake,
Yeah.
we need you to pray.
Hallelujah.
And within 30 minutes,
Thank you, Lord.
we had 100 people. I mean, nobody sleeps
Thank you,
anymore.
Lord.
We had 100 people that was already praying. And so I told Ronnie, I said, we're going to be all right.
Amen.
They're already praying. And so I don't know what's going to happen here, but we're going to be fine. And so she says she has no explanation. They took 2 more cardiac enzyme blood tests, and it was normal every time. And she said that never happened. She said, I have no explanation for that. Absolutely no explanation. But now here's what happened. In the course of that hospital stay, we're in Jewish hospital. It's this huge, we've never been to the hospital. I mean to visit. We've never spent the night. I haven't, Ronnie hasn't since we've been married. And so I'm a little unsure of myself. We're way up on the 5th floor in Pod C. Yeah, Pod C, 5th floor, room 7. What? What is that? So they said, you're on the 5th floor in Pod C. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I never heard of such a thing. Well, so because it's so big, I was afraid if I left Ronnie to go get food, I wouldn't find the pod. I could be wandering around that hospital for days. So I wouldn't leave his room the first day. The second day, I love him and I'm hungry. And we're just going to have to chance it because I need food. And they're bringing him food, they're bringing me nothing. And so I need food. And so the second day, they take him to the nuclear stress test thing down on the 1st floor, which is the floor where the cafeteria is.
Thank you,
I
Jesus.
said, okay, here's the deal. Once they give you this medicine, you have to rest for 30 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm not very far from the cafeteria, I don't think. It's on this floor. And so I'm going to go get food. I'll be right back. So I leave and start down the hallway, and it dawns on me, I've just done this research, and it dawns on me that just because I have left, I've never been to the nuclear lab. What if I can't find it back? And then I won't know where Ronnie is. And then I don't even know what they call it exactly, so I won't even know how to ask somebody. He's just down here. I'm getting a test on this floor. And so I remember what Google told me, that if you're lost You constantly look back where you've been while you're going forward. And so I walked down the hallway because I knew what the signs looked like going this direction, but I'm about to be going this direction. So I need to know what it looks like going this way, so I'll be able to go this way again. And so I take a few steps this way, and I look back over my shoulder to see where I've been. And I take a few more steps, and I've read the sign on this side, but I look to see what the sign says on this side, so I'll be able to find my way back to the nuclear lab. Now here's what I realized while I was doing that. I'm lost in this monstrosity of a hospital. I'm a country girl. Lord help. I'm in P.O. Box 125, and it took them a month to install it. I had to wait.
Right.
Lord have mercy. And now we're in this huge, big hospital on 5th floor, Pod C, room 7. And I'm in a nuclear lab, and I'm not even sure I know what that is. And so I may not be able to find my way back. So I have to see what signs look like this way, but I have to constantly see what signs behind me are. You know how I find my way out of the wilderness? I never stop looking back. 43 years later, I'm still looking back over my shoulder. I did it tonight. Hallelujah. But I don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. I look back over my shoulder, and I remember what He did for me yesterday. Because whatever He did for me yesterday, He'll do it again for me tomorrow. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And so here's my plan. You've got to have a plan. And the plan is I've got to breathe. I've got to slow down. I'm not going to let my spirit get in all tore up. I'm not going to let the devil push me in a corner. I'm going to calm my spirit down. Hallelujah. Take a deep breath. Hallelujah. Think about where I'm headed. I'm on my way to heaven. It's the sweetest journey I've ever had in all my life. I'm going to observe what's going on around me. You know what's going on around me? I have been young, and now I'm old. And I've never seen the righteous be forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. And then I've got to have a plan. I'm going a few steps forward and look back over my shoulder to see where He brought me from. Hallelujah. If He delivered me yesterday, He'll deliver me tomorrow. If He healed me yesterday, He's going to heal me tomorrow. Hallelujah. He's the same to 1,000 generations.
Thank you, Lord. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. Bless your name.
There's your victory.
Yes, God.
I'm going to say one thing and we'll leave it alone because I could very easily mess my whole sermon up. Right here.
Bless her, God.
Thank you, Jesus. We have a generation that's trying to do away with all our landmarks.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's good.
Yeah.
They don't want anything that reminds them that there's been wars and there's been men gave their life so that we can have the liberties and the freedoms that we have in America. But if we wipe away the history of yesterday, then we have a tendency to repeat the same mistakes we made yesterday because we don't realize that they exist. But if we're constantly looking back at the things that we could have done differently, then it'll make us make better decisions in our tomorrows. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And by the same token, if we keep looking back, every time I see a statue of some soldier, Robert E. Lee, or who's the other one? Grant or Lee, I think in Lexington it was Lee, on a horse, you know what I see? I see that we had men that fought and bled and died so that we could have freedom in America. Hallelujah. Every time I see where somebody has been to Hawaii and they've gone where the Japanese dropped bombs at Pearl Harbor, you know what I remember? The reason that I'm not speaking Japanese, and that is not a throw-off on the Japanese, but the reason I'm not speaking Japanese is because our men fought and they gave their life and they died that we could be a free nation. Hallelujah. If you go to Texas, you'll see where Mexico was, where they gave their life because they didn't want to be Mexico. They wanted to be Texas. Hallelujah. And so we have landmarks all around us that there has been sacrifice to get us to where we are. But when you look at this landmark, you know what I remember? Somebody died. Hallelujah. When I see that landmark, it reminds me that somebody died that I can be set free. And because he now lives, I can live also.
Yeah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Stand to your feet.
Glory, glory, glory.
It's a part of your journey. You're not going to get out of here without a battle. You're not going to get out of here without a storm. You're not going to get out of here without mountains and valleys. But what you remember is the Lord our God cares for this land. From the beginning of the year even to the end of the year. His eyes are forever upon it. So tonight, you're not in a storm that he don't know where you are.
Yeah.
He knew what hole they had put Joseph in. He knew what prison cell Joseph was in. He knew what dungeon Jeremiah was in. And he knew which furnace Shadrach was in. He knew which line stand that Daniel was in. He knew where Hagar was out in the middle of the wilderness. And he knows where you are.
Amen.
He didn't take you here. He didn't make you go here. You got here following the Lamb of God whithersoever he goes. And he walks through the wilderness. And if you follow him, you'll be there. It won't destroy you, but it will change you. From one glory even to another glory. You'll love deeper and you'll forgive quicker on the other side. It's just a part of your journey. Hallelujah. You know what it said about Job? It said that a strong wind came in. I believe it said from the east, but that may be a misquote. But a strong wind came in and brought all this destruction for Job's family and his cattle and his houses. Remember that? You remember what he did? He worshiped. The strong wind of destruction came and he worshiped. The devil cannot make you hang your head. Naked came I into this world, naked shall I return thither. The Lord gives, the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. If you're in here tonight and there's a strong wind blowing around your soul, storms raging in your life, or you feel like you're in a wilderness and not that you're lost from the Lord, just out in the middle of it, and you want prayer, I want you to come. I will pray for you tonight. I know it don't feel like it, but it's one of the richest places you'll ever find yourself. You'll come out of here, your life will be more fertile. Yeah, it will. You'll bring forth fruit at the end of your wilderness. Yes, you will, and that is a promise. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, everybody come. Let's